Welcome to solverfy.
All right, so I am going to answer this question. I'm using Excel. However, you can use any free program out there. If you don't have Excel, then it's going to be rather hard for you to do this using scrap piece of paper and a pencil. I would not recommend it. So the first question asks, create a scatter plot of time spent watching television. So time spent watching television versus the number of books owned. Number of books owned. Okay, so I'm going to flip-flop these. And I'm going to wrap these and center. Okay, so number of books owned, 25, 44, 12, 16, 78, 112, 56. And time spent watching television, I was a week watching television, 16, 20, 22, 25, 8, 2, and 10. And I'm just going to, put this all borders and center it in bold. Okay, and to create the scatter plot for this, if I insert a scatter plot and some quick layouts, so we have, I'm going to delete this. We have my X is number of books owned, and my y-axis is time spent watching television per week. Okay. Characterize the correlation. So we can say that for B, there is a strong negative correlation, meaning the more books owned, it is the less TV watched. Perform a linear regression and record the correlation coefficient. Does this support your answer to part B? All right, so to do this, you have to first calculate your mean of your number of books owned, and then you have to calculate your mean of your time spent. Then you have to take, now this is your X value, and this is your Y value. Okay, so then you have to calculate X minus the mean of X. So I'm going to do this subtracted by 49. And just put that in there. So I'm going to do that for each one of my X values. Then I'm going to do Y minus the mean of Y. And we just box this off. So I'm going to do 16 minus 14.714287. Okay, then I'm going to take X minus the mean of X, and then I'm going to square it. So that's going to be X minus the mean of X and square it. And then I'm going to, let me just center these and box them off. I'm going to total that, and that's going to be known as the sum of the squares of X. Then I'm going to take my Y minus the mean of Y, and I'm going to square that. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to square it. And I'm going to total that up. And that's known as the sum of the squares of y. And I'm going to highlight these and bold them. Then I'm going to take x minus the mean of x times y minus the mean of y. Oops. So I'm going to take x minus the mean of x times y minus the mean of y. So that's going to be this value times this value. And I'm going to do that for each one, and then I'm going to total that, and that's known as the sum of the products. And I'm going to box that off, yellow and bold. Okay. So then I'm going to calculate to get my correlation coefficient. I'm going to take my sum of my products, and I'm going to divide it by the square root of the sum of the squares of x times the sum of the squares of y. And that is going to be 400, my sum of my products, and it's going to be, that does not look right. So I have my sum of my products divided by the sum of the squares of x times the sum of the squares of y. And so I have that divided by the square root of that. And hold on, because that's not right. So something in my calculations are not correct. You should have gotten the square root of 0.8692, and you should have gotten a negative, so something's not right with those calculations, but you should have gotten negative, so the correlation coefficient is negative 0.932, which supports the linear regression. So I hope that this video helps. This is the math teacher signing off.